Hey, what's up guys, this is Allison back from Mechanibox, and welcome to my cube collection for the end of 2020. So I haven't done a cube collection video since 2016, but this collection is sort of frozen in about 2018 with just a couple new additions because I took a really long hiatus from serious cubing. But because this is a sort of frozen collection, and I've been cubing for 8 years now, I thought it'd be an awesome throwback to look at my whole collection and go over everything, so that's why I decided to make this video. Through this process, I actually cataloged my entire collection top to bottom, and I will put a link to that spreadsheet in the description down below. It should be almost in the exact same order as I'm presenting them in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. So first up is WCA puzzles, and we're starting with 7x7. First up, the Shangshao 7x7, a classic throwback, and my first 7x7 I got it in China. Next up, the Yushin Huanglong 7x7. My first actually good 7x7. And finally we have the Chi Wuji 7x7, which is missing a center cap because I lost it a while ago and never got around to replacing it. Still a solid cube though. Next, 6x6, not an event that I really practice, so I only have 2. But first we have this Shangshao 6x6, which I also got in China with the 7x7 in white. It's not great, obviously. Then we have this, the Yushin Red 6x6, which I did do a spring replacement in, I believe, but it's still not really that great, kind of floppy and stuff, but yeah, I haven't gotten any new 6x6s because it's really just not my event. Next, 5x5. I really don't know how I ended up with this many of them, considering I don't really do 5x5 either, but yeah, first up we got the Shangshao 5x5, obviously a classic cube from an old school big cube company. This is a newer one, this is the Shangshao Win 5x5, I believe it's a budget 5x5 from Shangshao. Not bad, honestly. Next up, the Yushin 5x5, which honestly is a really good cube. It still turns really well, and it's got this nice buttery smooth feeling. Next up, the NOWÖ Bochuang 5x5 in teal. This was from when I was collecting a bunch of teal cubes. This is the YJ Yuchuang 5x5. It is a budget 5x5 out of YJ, and it's got an interesting design, thinner outer layers and thicker inner layers, but yeah, it's pretty good actually. This is from NOWÖ's Cubing Classroom. It is the MF5S, another budget 5x5. And finally we have what is still my current main because I literally have not gotten new big cubes in so long, the Magnetic Chi Wushuang. And yeah, it's still a fantastic puzzle. Ultra stable and buttery smooth. Next, 4x4, and I again don't know how I ended up with this many of these. First we have, if you want to talk about throwbacks, the Shangshao 4x4. This, with its CubeSmith stickers and everything, this was lubricated by the Cubicle at Princeton Winter 2014. So this is a throwback, if I've ever seen one. Next up, the NOWÖ Aosu, and yeah, this one is another throwback cube, and I used this as a main for a long time. It's still really good, honestly. This is Yushin's first 4x4, and it's also pretty good, although it's a little loose and floppy. I used this as a main for a bit too. This was not a great cube. This is the Tong's Design Mei Yu 4x4. I, again, got it in teal just to have the teal collection. Otherwise it served no purpose because it's really not that great of a 4x4, honestly. Here is Yushin's second 4x4, the Yushin Blue. This is a lot better than the original Yushin, and I used this as a main for a while, if I remember correctly. These two are Chi Thunderclap 4x4s. They came in 2 sizes, 60mm and 62mm. And they're pretty decent, although I never really played around with these that much. This is the Chi Wuchue. Still a great cube. And this is another Chi Wuchue. This one is the Cubicle Labs magnetic one. Is another Wuchue. It is the Angstrom one. Also magnetic, but a little sluggish because I have not used this in a while, so the lube is very set. And this is an interesting one. I had to go digging to find what this one was. It is the Chi Yuan S. Budget 4x4, I believe. Got like frosted stickerless plastic, but yeah, pretty interesting. Not bad. So I obviously can't fit all my 3x3s in one shot, but I'm going to be doing this in sections by brand. First up, good old Rubik's. We've got 2 of the sort of newer regular Rubik's brand cubes. My original Rubik's brand, which is the one that was like stickered, not tiled, is part of a Siamese cube now, so I unfortunately don't have that. Don't know why I did that, honestly. This is the Rubik's Speed Cube from Paris 2017 Worlds. Even though I didn't go, I ended up buying it just because I wanted one. It's honestly like a pretty good cube. It's the one that they partnered with GAN to make. And last up I have this little tiny Rubik's mini cube, which turns pretty badly, but it's super cute. Speaking of throwbacks in this cube collection, we've got the Dians. This is, of course, the Dian Zanchi, my first ever speed cube. Yeah, this brings back some memories. This is a 50mm Dian Zanchi, not too much to say here. And this is a 42mm baby Dian Zanchi. Next up, Fangxi, and this, again, is another real throwback cube, the Fangxi Illusion Cube Mini. I used this for my first ever competition, Princeton winner, and yeah, definitely brings back some good times, and honestly, not a bad cube. And then we have Fangxi's second cube, which is the Fangxi Dieyun, I believe. And it's not terrible, but yeah, I don't think people loved it that much. Now we're really getting into the meat of it, because next up is NOWÖ. And yeah, if you've been cubing for any length of time, you know that NOWÖ has released a lot of 3x3s. The first one that I have is this, the Mini Weilong, which was my main right after the Fangxi. Another definite throwback right here. Then I tried to put these in chronological order. My memory was a little fuzzy on it. I went back to my old videos to sort of try to figure it out, but I believe next, at least that I got, was the Dianma, which was a complete flop. I mean, this cube is not good. Super sharp and the weird small inner layers, yeah. Sorry, I'm filming this video as it's slowly getting dark outside, which is probably a terrible idea, but the next cube in the lineup is a Mini Oolong, version 1. This is the 54.5mm. Then we have a cube, which if any of you have been watching my channel for any length of time, know that I hold very near and dear to my heart, the Oolong version 1. This was my main for so long, you could tell by the destroyed stickers on these thin sides. I loved this cube, and it's honestly still feels great. But yeah, Oolong version 1, my baby, my child, for many a month. And I also bought a white Oolong version 1 just because I wanted to savor the cube, because it was just such a good puzzle. Next up, I turned this one into a blind cube, which I didn't end up using that much, but this is an Oolong version 2, my first Oolong version 2, which didn't do nearly as well as the Oolong version 1. This is the NOWÖ Hualong, which is actually a really great cube. The one thing I remember about this cube is that the Rubik's Cube loved it though. This is the NOWÖ Tanglong. A cube that I feel like went pretty under the radar. I never liked it too much, it's kind of blocky feeling, but not a bad cube at all. This is another interesting one. This is the Oolong GT. Super heavy, sort of blocky cube that I didn't end up liking very much. And now we're starting to move into the more recent stuff. This is a Weilong GTS version 1. The first one that I ever got. Still a pretty good cube to this day. Got the Michael Humu logo on it. Here was a long time main, the Illusion Primary Internals GTS V1. Still a really fantastic cube. Next up, the first Cubicle Labs Magnetic Weilong GTS version 1. And yeah, this was, as soon as I got this, instant main, stayed that way for a while. Now we got the GTS version 2. I'm not really sure why this one is so sluggish. I must have overlubed it, because it is pretty uncontrollable without any magnets in it. But yeah, this is the very first one without any magnets. This is also GTS 2, it's just unstickered because I got this to test lubricant in. This is a Cubicle Labs GTS 2, magnetized obviously. Very sluggish again because all the lube in a lot of these cubes have set. And this is the magnetized GTS 2 Light, so lighter magnets. This is a mass-produced GTS 2M. This was my main for a while. This is an Angstrom GTS 2M. Again, sluggish because all the lube has set. This is a GTS 3. It's got those ridges. Pretty decent cube. And this is like one of the only pretty new puzzles that I have, which is the GTS WRM, the worm. And this is currently my 3x3 main. Next up, sort of a random one, is Maru. I have a Maru CX3, which is also a throwback puzzle. I think this is the mini one. I have a Maru Mini Translucent. Very cute little puzzle. And speaking of cute little puzzles, this of course is the Maru Nano Cube, which is 15 millimeters across. Next, Tongdesign and the branch off Guoguan, starting with the Tongdesign Mei Ying. So this is just the one that I got originally. A gray cube, and I got a stickerless premium one, Cubicle Premium, and this is really good, and I used this as a main for so long, and honestly I think the Mei Ying was such an underrated cube. Then we have the Guoguan Yuexiao, another cube that I really like for anyone that's been watching my channel for a while. This is the original one that I got. I then got one in teal and used this as my main. This was again part of my teal collection of cubes. This is the Yuexiao Pro. This is the one that I got originally from Guoguan. And then I got the Cubicle Labs one. So this one is the regular strength magnets, and this one is the light strength magnets. Another big category, GAN. I had to really dig to make sure that I got the names of these right, and I'm pretty sure I got it right. This is the original, the GAN 3v3 or GAN 357, whatever you want to refer to it as. Got the original octopus core and everything. I think I actually used this as a main for a bit. It's a pretty interesting cube. Then we have the first GAN 356. Again, still a pretty good cube, and it's got my weird double logo thing. This is a GAN 356 V2 that I bought off of Cubing with Mikai. So he has the one with black externals and white internals, so I bought the one with white externals and black internals off of him. I mean, it's a pretty cool looking cube. And this is the GAN 356 version 2 that I actually got myself, which again, is pretty good. Then we got the first GAN 356 Air, which is actually a really nice feeling puzzle just because of how light it is. This is a Cubicle Premium GAN 356 Air. This is a GAN 356 Air UM, so magnets, yay! This is another GAN 356 Air UM, and I'm not 100% sure why I have two. This is a Cubicle Pro Shop Air SM, another very, very nice cube. This is an Angstrom Air SM. This is a Boron Air UM from Cubicle Labs. And this, the newest edition, which I didn't actually show off in this channel yet, the 356i, the GAN 356i, I bought it at Nationals 2019. And it's actually like a really fantastic turning puzzle along with the awesome Bluetooth features. After that huge category, we got kind of a small category here. This is Yushin. This is the original Yushin 3x3, which of course the 525 was set on by Colin Burns. This is the Yushin Huanglong M. I used this as a main for a while. This is my previous main right before the GTS worm. This is a Cubicle Labs Little Magic M. Pretty nice cube. I never really got into using it as a main or anything though. Frosted plastic, which is pretty cool. And lastly, this cute little Yushin keychain cube, which the keychain has broken off from. We are getting there with this category. Next up, Chi, X-Men Design, and the Volk series. This, of course, is the Chi Big Sail, the 68mm cube that people use a lot for feet. RIP. Here we have the Chi Thunderclap, which is a cube that a lot of people like for a long time. It's still a pretty decent cube, but I never really was super into it. And this one, which was a mystery until I scoured for it on my channel, honestly, the Chi Warrior W. Completely forgot this existed. It's a budget line. This right here, the X-Man Tornado. Not too much to say here. Next up, the Volks. We have here my first Volk 3. Got a Cubologist logo on it, shout out. This is a Cubicle Premium Volk 3. Cubicle Labs Volk 3, magnetized obviously. Angstrom Volk 3. And this is a mini 47.4mm Volk 3, representing the world record, of course. Starting to get towards a sort of more random assortment of these cubes. This is Cubing Classroom. So this is a Cubicle Labs MF3RS2M. So from the Cubing Classroom series. And this is a mini cube from the Cubing Classroom series. It's the 50mm MFJS Mini. Next up, YJ. This is a YJ Yulong Translucent. Really cool looking puzzle. Got it for absolutely no other reason besides the fact that it looks cool. This, still in the box, is an original YJ Guanlong. I had been using these for modding. This is the YJ Guanlong Plus, one of the newer budget cubes that came out. It's not new anymore. I forgot when it came out, but it was at least a few years ago. And again, for modding purposes, 3 YJ Guanlong V3s, I believe. Next, Shangxiao. So this is some like unknown Shangxiao 3x3 that I got in China at some point. I have no idea what it's called. This is called the Shangxiao Legend 3x3. All of these 3x3s from Shangxiao are like budget cubes. And this is the Shangxiao Pearl. And finally, this is the last of it. This is like the miscellaneous category. So we have this one, which is the Mohuang Shoshu Chufeng. I forgot which company this is like a subsidiary of, but yeah. This I was drawing lines on because I want to mod it, but it is the Moje M3. This is the Senhuan Mars S. This is the Yancheng Yan 3. I think I tried to put magnets in it that I took out of like a Pyraminx, but it didn't really work and they all like fell out, so yeah, interesting cube. I forgot this in the YJ category because I didn't realize it was a YJ cube, but it's the YJ MGC, which is actually one of the first mass-produced magnetic cubes, I believe. This is the Geiger cube. Unfortunately, mine arrived broken. The Bluetooth doesn't work, so it's kind of just been sitting around. This is like a 1980s Rubik's cube. I actually don't remember how I acquired this, but yeah. This one is actually pretty cool. It is my mom's Rubik's cube that she had when she was a kid in China. So it's even got an original instruction pamphlet in it, and everything is still pretty pristine and functional. It's actually pretty good too. So that is finally it for the 3x3s. Next up, 2x2s. From here on out, there's not really a ton of organization, so bear with me. This is not a functional 2x2. I didn't count it in my spreadsheet or like anywhere, but it was originally a Diane 2x2. It's just the shell of it that I glued together because I used the internals to make a mod. This is a fun one. This is the 55mm Fangxi Xishuang 2x2. I got made fun of so much for using this as a main, and honestly, now I would make fun of myself. It is comically large, and there's no reason I needed a 2x2 that big. This is the MOWÜ Lingpo. Getting into some throwbacks here. One of the old, very nice 2x2s. Next in line, MOWÜ Weipo, of course the one released right after the Lingpo. Then we have my teal MOWÜ Tangpo. I actually really like this cube. Feeling is super smooth. This is the Chi Cavs 2x2, one of the first 2x2s they released, I think. This is another Chi 2x2, but I could not for the life of me figure out like what the name is of what model it is. It's just some mystery Chi 2x2. And this is the Chi Wuxia M, a mass-produced magnetic 2x2. Here we have the MF2S, the Cubing Classroom 2x2. Budget, of course, as all the classroom cubes are. A Cubicle Labs MF2S, so a magnetic one. This is the Yushin White 2x2. This is the YJ Guanpo Plus. Budget, of course. This is the Guoguan Xinhen 2x2. This is the Cubicle Labs Guoguan Xinhen, and this is still my current main because I have not gotten a 2x2 since like 2018, it had to be. And last we have this little cute keychain picture cube 2x2. One of my favorite events, Megaminx. Starting off this really old tiled QJ Megaminx. This is like actually one of the first cubes I ever got. This is the Diane Megaminx, which was like the top of the line with the ridges for a very long time. This is stickered with my weird color scheme that I used for a little bit. The YJ Yuhu, again, stickered with my weird color scheme. This was a main for a bit. A white Shangxiao Aurora Megaminx. I actually really like the feeling of this Megaminx. And I also have a black one, which I restickered again with my weird color scheme. Here is a Yushin Megaminx. I don't think I ever used this as a main or anything. This is a flat X-Man Galaxy. This is a concave X-Man Galaxy. And this was my child for so long, the Cubicle Labs Magnetic X-Man Galaxy Sculpted. This is what made me like switch to just using the regular color scheme, which makes life so much easier. Don't switch to a weird color scheme on Megaminx unless you have to. Yeah, I loved this Megaminx. It's still really, really good. This is an X-Man Galaxy V2. Of course, it's a bit smaller than the original. Easier to grip onto, but this one is not magnetic, so it's a little hard to control. And this is my current Megaminx main. This is another one of the cubes that I got recently with the worm. That was the first time I bought cubes in so long, but this is really, really good. It's an X-Man Galaxy V2 M with the regular magnet strength. Next in the WC lineup, Skewb. This is the old LAN Skewb. First ones that people used to speed solve when it first became an event. This is the Chi Skewb, basically one of the first good Skewbs. This is another Chi Skewb. This is a Chi Chang from what I looked up. I believe it's a budget. I really don't know how I ended up with it, honestly. This is a Tong's Design Mei Chen Skewb. Yeah, it's not great, at least. This seems pretty stock though, so maybe I just didn't set it up. This is a Cyclone Boy Skewb, which is surprisingly good, considering Cyclone Boys is not really a brand that people were paying attention to. And this is the Wingy. I guess you could call it my main, even though I really don't do Skewb. Next up, Square One. This is the classic Cube Twist Square One. This is the first Chi Square One. And this, I don't do Square One, but I guess it would be my main if I did, is the X-Man Volt. The last of the WCA puzzles, finally, Pyraminx. This is my Shangshao Pyraminx, my first Pyraminx. I took the ball bearings out. I literally have no idea why. I don't remember what I did with them afterwards. I think it was just sort of like an experiment because I didn't really care about this Pyraminx. This is the NOWÜ Pyraminx. Still holds up pretty decent. This is the Diane Pyraminx, which I also took the ball bearings out of, but that was because this was a very finicky puzzle. This is the Chi Pyraminx. I believe it is magnetic. This is the NOWÜ Magnetic Pyraminx, or what was the NOWÜ Magnetic Pyraminx, because there's no magnets in it, because I think I took it out of this one to try to make that one cube, the Yan 3 magnetic. I really don't know what possessed me to do that, because from what I remember, this was a really good Pyraminx, so I don't know why I did that. And this is the Chi Ming A Pyraminx. I'm pretty sure there's some of these cubes in my collection that I had to dig for the names of because I just really wasn't sure what they were. Honestly, I don't even know what my Pyraminx main would be out of these because I stopped really doing any Pyraminx. Now we're moving on to non-WCA and we're starting off with my mods that I've made. This is the logo cube. As you can see, it's got 9 different logos and it's like scrambled like this. So you can solve it with the sticker colors normally as if it was a regular 3x3, or you can solve it so that there's one of each logo on each side, which is pretty difficult. Just kind of a fun thing that I made. This is the cutter cube. This is my first ever mod. Basically just 45 degrees turned middle layer. It's made out of an Ehrling V2. This is the Cubosphere, named by Noob Cube. It's made from the internals of a Diane 2x2. I took out the pegs that block it from turning fully like a 3x3, so now it's just a 3x3. This is my half truncated cube, one of my next more ambitious modding tasks. This is my raised fist Black Lives Matter mod. I was supposed to give this away, but I didn't get enough entries on the Venmo to actually be able to like randomly pick a winner. But I did end up being able to raise a lot of money because a lot of people donated without doing the giveaway, so I was able to send over, I believe it was a full $100 to the NAACP, so that was awesome. Thank you guys so much for that. But yeah, I was really proud of how this mod turned out, especially the stickering job at the end, and yeah. This is my 2x2 Slim, which was made from keychain 2x2s. And this is an in-progress mod that's been in progress forever, and I just keep forgetting to finish it. I just need to sand. I've already filled it. I need to sand it down. But this is based on a mod. I don't remember what Nathan Wilson called it, but yeah, it's unfinished right now. Next, shape and sticker mods, which I have a ton of. This is just the first set. This is the Tetris cube from the Rubik's Cube, one of his early sticker mods, which is a really cool cube. This is an aquarium 3x3 that I got somewhere. I actually don't remember where. It says Marine Friends on it, so doesn't really help. This is one of my very early on cubes. It's a picture cube I got from Las Vegas. This is a cube that I was supposed to make a video on, and I'm so sorry that I did not get to it. It is a house cube mod from Nathan Wilson. It is just incredible quality. I mean, it is fantastic. Puts all of my mods to shame for sure because it just looks so professional. And yeah, I totally forgot to make the video for this. This is a YJ Fisher cube. Not much to say there. This is another YJ Fisher cube, but it is a better quality one because it's based on, I believe, the Guanlong mechanism. This is a windmill cube, presumably also from YJ, but I'm not sure. This is one I actually really like, the NOWÜ Crazy Yilang, or / Crazy Fisher Cube, whatever you want to call it. But it's like sort of like this off-center Fisher Cube, which is really cool. This is the concave cube. Here we have an axis cube. This is the Diansheng hexagonal die pyramid, and the axis cube is also from Diansheng. And this is also from Diansheng, the Diansheng blade, which is a dangerous looking puzzle. Next we have the Shangshao Master Morphix, classic old shape mod. This is the Rubik's Void cube. This is the Meffert's Ghost Cube, a really fun puzzle actually. I recently picked it back up and solved it a couple times. It's really awesome. This is another classic shape mod, the Shangshao Mirror Blocks. And this is the Shangshao 2x2 Mirror Blocks. And this is my Siamese cube, which is made from my old Rubik's brand, which I really regret this. I should have kept that the same, whatever. Wish I still had it for sentimental value. And also a Shangshao Aurora, I believe, on this side. But I used it as my signature cube. I would get signatures at competitions. Oh, and I actually forgot one. This is the Panda 2x2. Next up, Cuboids. Here's the first set. I've got 3 1x1s, 2 of them are homemade and 1 of them was from the Cubicle, from one of their like sort of giveaway promotion things where it came with one of my packages. This is a 1x1x2 I made out of Legos. This is the Boob Cube, fun gag gift thing. This is a 1x1x3, which is actually the pen cap restickered from a Rubik's pen. This is a 2x2x1. Here we have a super floppy cube. This is a Domino 3x3x2, good introduction cuboid. Another good introduction cuboid, 2x2x3. This one is from Z-Cube. And then we have another one from Chi, which is much better. A few more here. This is the Rubik's Tower, 2x2x4. This is from Calvin's Puzzle. Real throwback there. Wow, Calvin's Puzzle. 3x3x5. Actually a really fun solve. This is from Wit Eden, another throwback brand. 3x3x9. Actually, super cool puzzle. A little bit tedious to solve. And this I got at Nationals 2016 or 17 when they were like doing one of the events and they threw out free stuff at the end. I actually don't remember, but yeah. So one of the free gift things. It is an X cube. The last category here is just complete miscellaneous. This is the NOWÖ Wheel of Time, which is a fun puzzle that consists of sort of this 3x3 base, but then there's also these wheels that turn here. You can go like that. This is a Shangshao Pyraminx, as named by DG Cubes. This is a Meffert's Gear Shift. Fun puzzle. I actually don't think I remember how to solve it anymore, but yeah. This is some unknown brand's gear cube. This I actually don't think I ever learned how to solve, but it's a helicopter cube. This is a Ling Out Magic. We all love magic. Fun thing to show people, actually. This is a snake. Not sure what brand, but I don't really know if you can count this as a puzzle, but yeah. And this is some mystery puzzle, not really sure what to call it, but it's from my brother. He brought it from Japan. Turns like a 2x2, but also has these faces like that. One more puzzle that I forgot from the 3x3 variations category, the Brain Cube. Comes in this cool jar, looks like the brain hanging in the jar, suspended. This is actually really fun. It's got like this cool, like, soft eraser texture on it, so it's like, you know, more brain-like, and it's got the folds of the brain. Really difficult to solve, obviously. It comes with like a solution guide so you know where the folds are, but yeah. Fun novelty cube right there for display. And that was my entire cube collection as of the beginning of 2021. And yeah, so that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.